Japan is far from reaching its desired 60 million annual visitors by 2030, but is already grappling with overtourism as its famous omotenashi hospitality, the idea of wholeheartedly serving guests, is pushed to the brink. Some areas are struggling with congestion, either all year round like in Kyoto, or seasonally like Hokkaido's Niseco in winter or Tokyo's Nakameguro in spring. Foreigners are being blamed for bad behavior amid complaints of littering, traffic violations, rowdiness, and even the defacement of sacred sites like temples and shrines. Just as people do not behave out of hand when they visit a friend's home, tourists need more self-awareness that they are guests in an area, tourism expert Hideki Endo of Ritsumeikan University in Kyoto told the Straits Times. But people somehow forget this when they travel. Researcher Mizuki Nagono, of tourism-focused Jalan Research Center, noted that there are wide-ranging problems, such as the destruction of the natural environment, poor behavior, littering, and lost opportunities due to crowding. Overcrowding makes it difficult for residents to lead their usual lives, thus reducing the attractiveness of the area, which in turn lowers tourist satisfaction, he told ST. Mr. Keisuke Murayama, chief executive of tourism firm Yamato Gokoro and a government advisor on tourism, said that while the causes, degree, and type of overtourism vary by region, the potential solutions generally include informing visitors about etiquette, establishing entry limits, controlling demand through taxes and price increases, and striving for better visitor distribution. Japan is reassessing its relationship with visitors amid a tourism boom fueled by its wealth of soft power in food, nature, and culture, and renewed global attention to its entertainment output. While it is trying to promote off-the-beaten-track tourism, many travelers flock to hot spots like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Japan has imposed a 1,000 yen ($7) departure tax on all travelers since 2019, but has otherwise left it to local governments to tackle the issues they are facing. Some have taken to imposing accommodation taxes or visitor levies, posting warning signs against bad behavior, or deploying security guards. Kyoto has tried all three methods to no avail and, on March 7, said it will ban tourists from the private back alleys of the traditional Gion district from April. This comes after visitors have behaved like amateur paparazzi in stalking Maiko apprentices and geisha entertainers as they work. The attention on tourism comes as Japan's monthly arrivals routinely beat pre-pandemic highs, even without the full return of Chinese visitors for whom visa-free travel with Japan has not resumed. Figures on March 19 showed that Japan welcomed 2.79 million visitors in February 2024, a record for the month. Its arrivals for the first 2 months of the year were already 3.4% higher than for the same period in 2019. That year, Japan had set a record with 31.9 million visitors just 6 years after arrival figures crossed 10 million for the first time in 2013. Japan, which lifted COVID-19 entry restrictions on May 8, 2023, drew 25.06 million visitors in 2023, already nearly 80% of the 2019 record. They included 591,300 visitors from Singapore, 1 in 10 of the republic's population, which was a rise of 20.1% from 2019. Expectations are rife that Japan will surpass its record in 2024, even if the Chinese do not return in similar numbers. Chinese arrivals in the first 2 months of the year were down 40.8% from the same period in 2019. The weak yen is giving tourists more bang for their buck. On March 23, one Singapore dollar was worth 112 yen, 31 yen more than the value on the same date in 2019. On top of that, Japan's inflation is comparatively weaker than much of the world's at 3.1% in 2023. Experts noted that the weak yen has compounded the congestion problem, as overseas travel has become prohibitively expensive for many Japanese citizens. This in turn drove up demand for domestic travel. Just 9.6 million Japanese went abroad in 2023, less than half of that in 2019. The overtourism situation is so bad that the Yomiuri Shimbun, Japan's largest newspaper by circulation, went so far as to suggest that foreign tourists should be schooled in Japanese etiquette in a September 2023 editorial. The editorial noted that overseas visitors often do not seem to realize they are behaving improperly, due to language barriers and differences in lifestyle. There are numerous examples. In the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Shirakawago, a mountain village known for its gashozukuri, steep thatched roof, houses. Ryokan owners have reported choked toilets from tourists flushing disposable body warmers, and littering from garbage buried under thick snow. Tourists have trampled on and damaged farmland in the Hokkaido town of Ba, and on coral reefs in Okinawa's Cape Maeda. Over in Tokyo, where street go-karts are popular among foreigners decked out in costumes, police received over 100 complaints in 2023 about traffic and noise disturbances, Jiji News Agency reported on March 19. Mr. Benjamin Bors, a Japan resident of 17 years and author of the Japanese-language title From Cool Japan to Your Japan on the Cool Japan Soft Power Strategy, saw the issue as one of tourism management rather than over-tourism, noting that tourists should be better spread out. Japan should understand qualitatively the dynamics of existing demand and take advantage of it, suggesting that higher prices are a solution to overcrowding. This will make the undervisited areas look even more like a steal, he said. Until now, Japan has been a country with a strong service mentality of wanting to provide good products at low prices with low profit margins, but it is not a bad thing to set a price commensurate with high added value. By way of example, he noted that a top-notch Kobe beef teppanyaki dinner could cost under 30,000 yen, which would be enough for a good, not great, dinner in New York. As it is, the tourism share of Japan's gross domestic product stands at 2%, Moody's Analytics senior economist Stefan Angrick said, noting that this was fairly modest compared with the United States, Western Europe and much of Southeast Asia. Considering where the yen is relative to foreign currencies, there is scope for higher taxes and similar levies, Dr. Angrick said. The higher tourism fees would trickle down to benefit ordinary residents and uplift the tourism industry, which has suffered from wage stagnation. Hotels and airports are understaffed, while a lack of taxi drivers has created a black market for unlicensed drivers. For the benefit of local communities, the additional revenue can be used to deploy technology and employ more security guards to deter miscreants, as well as for the general upkeep of local facilities, experts said. Visitor levies or accommodation taxes have been leveraged in places such as Bhutan, which is imposing a fee of $100 per night, and Bali, which in February introduced a 150,000 rupiah, $10 tourism tax.